33 teams would show up to the tiny Sayre Speedway, but the track will only allow 22 cars to start tonight's race. Taylor Matthews took the pole, but several other cars we expected to be fast in qualifying just couldn't find the speed, and they missed the show. You're about to see that this will include both of the Power Surge America cars of Rip Tyler and rookie Skeeter Farnsworth, Nicholas Radcliffe, the new rookie for Andy Pearson Racing, and Megan Gallagher, who won 2 races last year for Big Mac Racing. Meanwhile, taking one of the 2 wildcard spots would be hometown favorite Mo Lester. The Senate candidate turned Christline radio host is back with Salvation Racing this year, splitting duties in that 3 car with Christopher Holter, and he was very fortunate to get the wild card as his Christline show sponsors this very race. The second wild card would go to John Burr, who will make his first start of the year after his team was completely shut out of qualifying at last week's season opener. And now we go trackside to bring you the highlights from, and this is going to be a mouthful, the God Help America with Mo Lester on Christline 150. The field is in the hands of Taylor Matthews, coming off of her 5th place finish at San Antonio last week. Todd Stater on the outside of the front row starts to fall behind. He comes under attack from Noah Dalitz in the 63, who had a very good run in qualifying to start up in 3rd. And that's Michaela Perry-Jones in the 93 coming after the 66 now, so Stater not off to a very good start. Meanwhile, Matthews leads by about 3 car lengths. As you may know, Mike Malone, owner of Knuckles' Sandwiches in Los Angeles, was picked up by Cat Motorsports after Lou Singer Racing departed for the ASCC, but he's going to make contact with Sergei Yakovsky and go out of the race early for the 2nd week in a row with a hard hit to that inside wall. It looked like Yakovsky got loose off the corner and drifted into Malone. Meanwhile, Todd Stater, trying to get back towards the front, gets a little aggressive with Mauro Adachi and happens across Yakovsky, who went a lap down, but Yakovsky now gets into the 93 of Perry-Jones, sends her around, and Yakovsky's race is going to end with a trip to the pit wall. He seemed to have a really poor grip on that car from the start, and Stater is going to fall back even further. Michaela Perry-Jones would continue as well, but Sergei Yakovsky becomes the 2nd car out. More problems for Todd Stater as he breaks down coming to the restart. That's going to draw another quick yellow. It's been an absolutely miserable start to the race for Todd Stater, and the race will end for him on the following restart as Anthony Griffith makes it 3 wide with him and Hunter Blaze, and they take a trip into that pit wall. Hunter Blaze goes out as well, and they crashed right in front of the exiting Kelly Splicen, who had to come in for an unscheduled stop. She will end up off the lead lap. Mauro Adachi, the new driver of the Walker Texas racing car, is also a lap down after making an unscheduled stop. Meanwhile, Taylor Matthews has not given up that lead once as she rockets away, but chaos breaks out behind her. Michaela Perry-Jones in another wreck, this time at the hands of Noah Dalitz, still running in 2nd. Well, not anymore. This is going to take Perry-Jones out of the race, and as she limps around, you're going to see Mark Thompson in the 1 spun around in turn 4, likely as a result of the field scrambling away from this wreck. On lap 34, a large chunk of the field is going to come into the pits for routine stops, and some of these cars towards the back of the field are going to risk going a lap down as they pit. They were told in the driver's meeting, the pace car will not wait for you. Meanwhile, you saw Tyler Thaber in the 64 for M&J Racing stay out and take the lead. A few other cars stayed out, including Tony Long in the 51 for SWH Racing. He'll be restarting 2nd. Anthony Griffith in the 7 fell a lap down, but he's starting on the outside for some reason. Noah Dalitz and Archer Helms also fell a lap down as they pitted towards the back of the field. Mo Lester also stayed out and moved up to 3rd, but right in front of Thaber is the 68 Team Timothy car being driven this week by ASCC rookie Stefan Wodarczyk. That deal came together because the team wanted somebody with experience at this track, and Wodarczyk has logged plenty of laps here in the ASCC late models, but Wodarczyk is struggling to stay on the lead lap. Meanwhile, Tyler Thaber has been washing up out of the corners, allowing Tony Long to have a go at the lead. Tony Long is flying solo at SWH Racing tonight after Danica Hollifield, his teammate, failed to qualify, but still, that team seems to be off to a much better start than last year. That team broke into FARC in 2016. They won a race that year, but that was their only victory. Noah Dallitz battles with Archer Helms for position, although again, they're both off the lead lap, but Dallitz pushes up into Helms, and that gets Patrick Ashcroft in the 99 involved. Grant Carson's in the 86, slams into the 63, and that's going to take both Carson's and Dallitz out of this race. Noah Dallitz was off to a very good start before getting into that wreck while running in second. He will retire for the second race in a row. Tony Long, Tyler Faber, and Mo Lester all pitted under that yellow, putting Taylor Matthews back in the lead. Archer Helms in the 74 ended up on the tail end of the lead lap, and he'll be trying to stay in front of the 61. Billy Ray Smith-Thompson in the 42 is up to second. Saw a little contact in the back between Harry Essanola and Patrick Ashcroft. That's going to bring the caution out again. Archer Helms stays in front of the 61 and will come around to rejoin the lead lap. And there's Harry Essanola getting loose and into the side of Patrick Ashcroft, but a much more harmless wreck for him than the last one. Ashcroft is down to 11th off the lead lap. After the restart, Anthony Griffith is still 10th, one lap down, but he gets into Billy Ray Smith-Thompson right in front of Mark Thompson. Tony Long gets a piece of that too. He really did not need that after the great start he's had, but while Tony Long keeps going, Anthony Griffith and Mark Thompson will drop out of the race. Archer Helms has made his way back up to second for this restart, but contact between Jeffrey Jackson and Patrick Ashcroft is going to send the 74 up onto his roof. This is the biggest crash of the night we've had so far. We saw John Burr get into that inside wall, and there's going to be another wreck on the front stretch as Archer Helms sits on his roof. Jackson gets loose into the side of the 68 and goes for a roll on the front stretch as well. But Jeffrey Jackson, making his first start of the season, will soldier on. Billy Ray Smith-Thompson also dropped out with heavy damage, and Tony Long ended up falling out with mechanical trouble during the caution, possibly related to that earlier wreck he had. But Long will still finish 11th because of how destructive this race has been so far, and we're not even halfway through. Meanwhile, Taylor Matthews has survived everything and continues to lead. Tyler Faber moves up into second now. Mauro Adachi in that 98 is still off the lead lap. Mo Lester sits in third with Harry Essanola fourth and Stefan Wlodarczyk in fifth. Tyler Faber gives chase to that 61. He appears to be a little faster than her right now. An impressive showing so far from the FARC Truck Series standout from New Jersey. Mo Lester is making great use of that wild card as he hangs on to third place, holding off Stefan Wlodarczyk, who just got around Harry Essanola for fourth. There's Kelly Splicen coming back out of the pits. She's been in and out of the pits all night. There she goes again. She's been having a lot of trouble with that 41 car after getting into some incidents, but if you're still running at this point, then you're going to have a really great finish. Mo Lester gets around Mauro Adachi, the former Super GT driver, leaving him in the hands of Stefan Wlodarczyk, but the two leaders are getting away from these guys. John Burr is also making the most of the wild card, running in 8th with the slowest car on the track, but because he's still running, he is guaranteed his first top 10 finish since this very race back in 2017. But he's not doing a great job of yielding to Mo Lester right now, who puts him into the wall, giving that 54 car some more damage that he really doesn't need. But still, this is a great showing for John Burr, who struggled to make most of the races last year along with his whole team. It's now time for Taylor Matthews and Tyler Faber to negotiate with lapped traffic. Matthews getting a little pushy with the 05 of Jeffrey Jackson, who, may I remind you, has been upside down tonight. Tyler Faber follows suit, not letting himself get held up. Tyler Faber will be getting a few more races in this M&J 64 this year. He'll be at 77 Speedway, General Grant Speedway, and in the Smash Beer Oktoberfest Nationals, which will this year be held at the Bent Twig Raceway in Times Beach, Missouri. So he's only got a few opportunities in the Lowe Dollar Series, but he's been really impressive so far tonight. But after a long green flag run, we're going to get another caution as Patrick Ashcroft goes around again after some contact with Mauro Adachi. The 5 lead lap cars would all pit again, but Mo Lester, Stefan Wlodarczyk, and Harry Essanola could not beat the pace car, and they will end up on the tail end of the lead lap. This is going to give Taylor Matthews a lot of traffic that she'd rather not deal with, as Tyler Faber is right on her bumper. But she's going to put her head down and get to work, putting Harry Essanola a lap down. He gets by Patrick Ashcroft. Tyler Faber getting held up by that 45 car just a little bit, as Matthews is stuck on the bottom, getting by Mauro Adachi. Now contact between him and the 99 again. Tyler Faber got a piece of that, but he keeps it straight, as Patrick Ashcroft and Mauro Adachi involved in another wreck together. Patrick Ashcroft is going to go out, but that's Harry Essanola backed into the inside wall on the front stretch. Jeffer Jackson was trying to get by him for 5th, coming back to the caution, but drove right through him. This is going to take Enola out of the race and earn Jeffer Jackson a trip to the hauler. Now, whether or not Jeffer Jackson gets any penalties, he's already facing some pretty big consequences by pissing off Harry Essanola, the former Marine drill sergeant. Meanwhile, Taylor Matthews continues to lead with only 8 cars left on the track now, 4 on the lead lap. Tyler Faber still sits in 2nd. Mo Lester and Stefan Wlodarczyk have not had the speed to keep up with them. So once again, the duel is going to be between Matthews and Faber. Faber does seem to be slightly faster, but Matthews has been very good at defending the lead and slicing through traffic. But Taylor Matthews does seem to have built up a little more speed over Tyler Faber as well, searching for her 2nd FARC Lowe Dollar Series win. Some might forget that she is no stranger to the Lowe Dollar Series. She won all the way back in 2014 at Waterbury Park, driving for Matthews Motorsports in a one-off. And she's very quickly picked up these cars again, despite being absent for years. But Jeffer Jackson is going to continue to prove himself very troublesome tonight, holding up the 61 and opening up the door for Tyler Faber to take the lead for the first time since the first round of pit stops. Faber gets away while Jackson still holds up the 61 going into turn 1, but she's going to shove him out of the way. No patience left for these lapped cars from Taylor Matthews. And as this run goes on, Tyler Faber and Taylor Matthews put 4th place Stefan Wlodarczyk a lap down, and now they get to work on Mo Lester. Faber searching for a way around him, looking at the outside. Here comes Taylor Matthews. Contact between the 2 leaders. But Faber shakes it off, dives under Mo Lester, and will finally put him a lap down, but Mo Lester gets loose and almost takes out the 64. Taylor Matthews now stuck in between the 3 and the 68, and she's gonna let Wlodarczyk back by. It's going to take Matthews too long to get around the 68 again, and as we approach 15 laps to go, Tyler Faber has really pulled away. Taylor Matthews gets around Mo Lester and tries to get to work, chasing the 64 down. But we're going to have a battle for 3rd, as Stefan Wlodarczyk finally gets around the 3 of Mo Lester. Wlodarczyk is giving Team Timothy a good run in their 2nd FARC Lowe Dollar Series start, despite running a lap down. Wlodarczyk will also be running a few Lowe Dollar Series races at the ASCC companion races for Andy Pearson Racing, so this is good practice for him in the Lowe Dollar Series cars. Taylor Matthews comes across the 05 of Jeffer Jackson again, and she's not even going to give him a chance to get out of the way. She just dumps him right into the inside wall, and that will be the end of Jeffer Jackson's race, but he's still going to finish well inside the top 10 with so few cars left. And he won't even be passed by a couple of the cars still running, John Burr and Kelly Splicen, who are now about to have a battle for 7th. John Burr pitted a while ago to have the hood pulled off of that car. He lost a few more laps and put him right into the clutches of Kelly Splicen. So John Burr is going to fall back to 8th place. Meanwhile, Tyler Faber takes the white flag, sitting in a very similar position to his first Truck Series race, where he won in a very destructive show. And tonight, he will survive all of the carnage to take his first FARC Lowe Dollar Series win, putting M&J Racing back in victory lane for the first time since 2017.